Hey, welcome to the pre-bull run. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mondays with Max. I am like completely unprepared because it was trouble getting home. What the heck did I do with my remote? There it is. Need some light. Ooh, that's too much though. There we go. Much better. Much better. All righty. Welcome to Mondays with Max. I am Max Voltage, your host for the evening. Let's see who is here. Savage White Zero is first place today. Son of a Rabbit, Nick Riley, Steven Cicero, All Set, Chuck Danger, Second TL, Nick Riley, Geek of All Trades, Aragorn Strider, Tyson Coin, Toxic Miner, Tim I Am Crypto, Galaxy 9 Synthesis, Crypto Tito, Arcs Crypto Mining, Chump Change is here, Lesta Dog C57, Kirk Solar. Let's see, who else? Who else? Gaming with Smokey Dan. Integra Guy. It's been a minute since I think I've seen you. Hope you've been doing good. The Dude. Anthony Denuzzo. John Carpenter. Let's see who else we got. I think Bacon, Eggs, and Hash. Haven't quite gotten to the bottom because I haven't gotten that flip yet. Let's see. Where is, oh, there it was. Let me go up a little bit so I don't miss anybody. Dakota Miner, Eric Scherzinger, All For You Miners, DJ Mines with the 22, Hot Crypto Mining, Curtis Markham. I think I said Kirk Solar before, but I guess it in D Miners. Good to see you, sir. Reyes Mining, Mr. Oblivion. Let's see what else. DRV 287, BG, Caveman Mining, 4J, Curtis Markham, Todd Tebow, Coinology, and of course, the infamous Sunflower Mama, Gucci Coin, and I would say that's it. And Tiger Guy said, I'm always here, just usually chasing a 2-year-old around. Got it. Just not in the chat because you're lurking. Nothing wrong with lurking. All righty. Well, it's kind of thinking about this weekend. It's kind of really like, this is fun. I now remember how much I liked the, as I call it, the pre bull run, meaning where things just start to get profitable and everybody's kind of excitement is like, we know what's coming. And you're like, yeah, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. And so, yeah, I am very, very much looking forward to this time having. It's like that anticipation. And obviously this year seems like it's even more fun because we've had a bunch of pumps. And that just makes it really fun. Nothing like either making a lot of money or talking about how you sold too early, which is usually what I do. But I never miss out on the profits. I always get profits, maybe not at the high, but I don't take the ride back down. So anyway, I usually take and this is what I did with a few things where I will diversify, or double down into a project because of reasons. And I'll talk a little bit about that tonight as well. But yeah, I'm just having a blast. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do, what my next steps are going to be, how I'm going to best make use of the hardware I've got, what the next hardware I'm going to get is, where I'm going to power it. So, yeah, I've been having a lot of fun doing all that. In fact, I was getting some help from Mining King. He showed me where to get I forget, it's an H12 Epic motherboard, super micro, and basically all with everything except for a power supply and an NVMe, but it had everything else. And so it was still going to be pretty pricey. And because I was running out of power anyway, I kind of like, well, I can't rationalize it. So now I'm on the road of how do I make There's nothing on the screen. Okay, there we go. Retro Mike Tech with the 1999 super chat. Merry Christmas, Flannel Army. Yeah, I know. Don't you like purple? Isn't purple, red, and green put together? No. Sorry, I'm colorblind, guys. So, but and an engineer. But what does that have to do with not knowing colors? Anyway, so anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So then I started going down the path of trying to figure out if I could get a 7810 to do two different to do two different cards. So Geek of All Trades says, with these taxes from ComEd, I would recommend a long extension cord and a very oblivious neighbor. Yes, ComEd does have some taxes, and the one that everybody loves, and it's like a love-hate relationship because it depends on which side of the coin we're on at that particular moment. But there's the carbon-free adjustment when it's below 14 cents total, well, below like 6 to 7 cents market price, then there's an adjustment higher to keep the nuclear power plants in place. Now, I know you guys have heard me talk about that before. And on the other hand, if prices have jumped up a lot, we get a negative effect. So we'll get a credit, actually, as the nuclear power plants will pay that money back to the consumers. So it is somewhat of a leveling effect, which kind of defeats the market price thing. But anyway, it's still doing pretty well. I'm still at like 3 to 4 cents less than what everybody else is getting paid. Like last month, I was just below 10 cents when everybody else was at 14, like the standard rate. So I'm not complaining. Not complaining, especially this time of year. It's usually really good. So anyway, as I was saying, 7810. So I was trying to work with Veteran Miner to see if he can help me out there. I know he's figured that out. So I'm trying to figure that out. And right now I've got the 3090 that I took out of a Vast rig because I replaced it with a 4090. I now just have that in the Octominer and mining away. But we'll eventually take it out and hopefully put it in a 2x3090 rig. That would be what I'm going to try to do. But yeah, I'm kind of at a limit for my power. I have 40 GPUs running, 13 on Vast, and the rest on 27 on mining. So I do have about 2/3 mining. So everybody hears me talking about Vast, but the number of GPUs actually have more mining than I do running on Vast. Ivan Yoon asks, I saw your last video on running a background mining in Vast AI. How do you change the instruction to mine other coins? Can't seem to figure that out. Thank you. So there's two different ways you can do it. There's the command line and there's creating a job. I've started doing it via creating a job, and I'm not sure if it's causing some problems doing it that way because it seemed like with the command line it was simpler. But you basically just need to follow the instructions. And I have not done that video yet, and I need to do that video. But there's a list of instructions that I need to make available. Oh no, I made them available in the Discord. So I would just check my Discord channel, the max voltage one, not the OnlyFans one. I left it available to everybody. But check that out and let me know if you have any questions on how to do that. To me, that's the simplest way. So now I'm going to get to that, DJ. I'm going to get to that. That's part of the Discord, news from the Discords, So I'm going to get there. Gonna get there. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of things moving today. Let me see. Let me get another window open so I can bring up the markets. I am currently mining Pyrin. I've been mining it for, I don't know, quite a while, actually. 5 days, 6 days, whatever. Something like that. I haven't actually looked. It might even be more than a week now at this point. Let's see. CoinGecko. This one. And let me share my screen. And we'll do the entire screen. That's the one I want. And shared. All right. Yes, OnlyFans is available only for members. So that is an advantage to being a member. And I do pay attention. I actually pay attention to both of them, but pay a little bit extra attention to the OnlyFans channel. All right. So yeah, first things first, ETC POW is definitely taking a hit. So let's do the bad news first. And this isn't actually that surprising. This is a straight money flow. You know, you have all these people buying nodes before, and that was like the money flow in. Well, now they've raised the price to $300, and as the prices come down, it's become less lucrative, which is still lucrative as far as I'm concerned, but it will turn some people, it won't have as many people like FOMOing into it because of the reduction in price. So now you have less people buying in and more people just selling their returns. So there's just way more sell pressure than buy pressure at this point. So I think it'll eventually turn itself around, but but anyway, I'm not worried about it. Right now, I have almost gotten all my money back from buying the 3 nodes. I just have a little bit left to get, and I will get that this particular time. Oh yeah, dark mode. Well, I did that just for DJ. I know how much he hates dark mode. Where is dark mode on this darn thing? Does CoinGecko not have a dark mode? They have to have a dark mode. Somebody tell me where the heck dark mode is. That'd be under settings. Ah, there it is. There you go. Are you entertained now because I have dark mode? Alrighty. Let me see some of the fun ones. Let's do Pyrin. Yes, I know there's dark mode extension. It doesn't always work well though. So at least when I tried it, it didn't work. But look at Pyrin, up almost 75%. That was nice to see today. That was very nice to see. Unfortunately, I've been doing a lot of mining and selling, but last night I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna, Pyron's really low. I'm just gonna sit on it and wait for it to double, and then I'll cash out at that point. Pyron must have heard me say that and said, well, I'll show you. I'm just gonna pump right away. So you won't have anything in your bags to sell. Anyway, is what it is. But yeah, still good to see. Still good to see. Anything that helps us all to be profitable as we're mining is a good thing in my book. Let's take a look at Conflux. I've been kind of hearing rumblings about Conflux. I have not been mining it, and I know a little bit about it. Let me look at the chart. Let's take a look at 7 days. Yeah, what's everybody talking about? I don't know, and I don't know why it's so profitable. Is it all the fees? Is that what it is? That's why it's just profitable to mine because of that. I assumed it was because there was a pump, but there's definitely not a pump. So yeah. Geek of all trades, member for 17 months. Holy cow. Have we even known each other that long? Wow. I guess we have. Best 17 months of my life, Geek. We wish you a Merry Cryptmas and a HODL New Year. If that's not a dad joke, I don't know what is. I guess I could have sang it, but I wasn't going to. Okay. What other cryptos you guys want me to look up? Oh, you know what? Let me look up Demo. Let's see what that's at today. I know it was up last time I checked. Demo up 26.6%, but what was the high? The high was 53. So yeah, it's up a good amount today as well. That's good to see. I did not sell all my demo. I sold a portion of my demo to invest in Matic. So yeah. Ivan Yoon says, did you realize that Vast AI Rentals has been dropping? My 4090s are not rented for 3 days. Yeah, I've definitely been noticing that. Right now, last time I checked, everything was rented. I would show you my Vast AI page, but it shows my IP address, so I'm not gonna do it. Anybody knows what that's from? Let's see. Let's take a look at my machines. Yep, everything rented. I basically had to rent my 4090s for a bit less than I had before, and I still do not have a single rig that's verified. I have one at 99.84% reliability, and it's still not. And I thought, well, maybe it's due to bandwidth, but my bandwidth is significantly improved. So I don't know. I do not know. So that's kind of frustrating, but it's all right. It's just kind of luck of the draw from what I've been hearing. And hopefully as it slows down, they'll eventually start like catching up and verifying more and more of the rigs that do have good reliability, but we shall see. So right now I got 3 4090s, 2 3090s, and 6 3060s, and 14070 and 13070. That's what I have on Vast right now. So, but basically, you know, making somewhere between $175 to $200 a week. So not too shabby, and it's pretty reliable. But yeah, you do kind of have to stay on top of the pricing because the pricing does change, and you want to make sure that. And here, let me show you something. Actually, let me bring it up here. Oh shoot, what is that? Woven. Yeah, there it is. Give me a second while I pull it up. I want to show you something in this. So this is wovenvideo.ca. If you go there, you just have to click on a few buttons and you get to here. So right now, when you come here, it automatically goes to verified in the 4090. But let's just take the 4090 and go to unverified because mine are unverified. 10th percentage is $28, 28 cents. That was typically around 30 cents. So that definitely has come down a bit. But what you see at the bottom down here, or down here, actually, it's easier to read over here. Down here, this shows like what the range is. So like suggested high price is 48 cents. Mid price is 41.4 and low is 34. Now what's interesting here is no wonder I'm oh no, these are all the ones that are rented. All right. But what I do is I look to see what's over here to see where the significant numbers are. And it's interesting. There's a lot that are high. There aren't that many that are low. I had been set at 0.349 to stay under this guy. You have 9 machines here that are sitting here unrented. And one of the things I do also is I'll look to see what the value or what the reliability is for that. So I'll click on price and I'll click it where it's going up. The dude, Max Legend, I asked Vast AI if there was a command I had to run to delete the rigs that weren't verified to move over to TensorDoc, and they instantly verified 4 machines. Alrighty then. Very interesting. I will have to give that a try. I appreciate that input. Don't anybody try that before I do, because I don't want to overuse it. Anyway, but I'll give that a shot. Okay. So anyway, so I try to look for these like really significant ones in the unrented, which is the vacant over here on the right. Geek of All Trades says, wait, what is that dashboard? How did I miss this? I don't know. You've never seen this before? This thing's freaking awesome. This is how I set all my prices. I looked at, what was that? Yeah. Sunflower Mama says you need to get out of the basement. You need to turn your mic on. That's why I got this earbud in, so you can talk and not have to tell me what to say that you said. Anyway, so yeah, this what? Drop a link. Okay, hold on. We'll do that. I gotta go back to here. Yeah, there it is. All right, there's the link. There is the link. So this on the right hand side, these are all the vacant offers. So you can see where there's a significant number. So I mean, you kind of get over here and you're like, okay, what are these? You get 0.27. You're like, okay, let's see. You got 92, 94, 93, 93, 93. All right. Those are not great reliability numbers. If your reliability number is higher than that, you know what? Not really worth it. The other part of it is look at the VAST score. These VAST scores for a 4090 are horrible. They're horrible. It should be like 100. I think. Anyway, we'll look. Max, you don't talk to Sunflower Mama that way. No attitude. Hey, you're not helping. You're not helping, Red Panda. She needs to talk into the mic. She's got the mic. I have it all set up. That's why I have the earbud in, so that we won't get feedback or anything. Did it all for her. I got like a whole, like, her mic setup is actually better than my mic setup. Anyway. Although I do need to get Hawk, the engineer, to, get her voice to sound the best it can possibly sound. He's so good at that. So, all right, I'm going to get through this without getting interrupted, or maybe I won't. But anyway, so right now I've been using this. This was a much higher number before, and that's why I'm setting mine at 0.299 to get under that. So basically, I'm at the lower end right now. But that way, I make sure I'm rented, and that's the key. Is so maybe you give up some profits, but if you're rented almost 100% of the time versus making more money, oh, look at that. That changed a lot. That was really interesting. Did you guys all see that? That just all of a sudden jumps. So like right now, this one is, yeah, unverified. This one jumped to 30 unrented. Let me see if any of mine popped up unrented. That could have just been an update. Nope, all mine are still rented. So that's the reason why I'm just under this, because that's a significant amount of things that aren't rented. And when you look down here and you start looking at the ones that are at 30 cents, you're still not looking at great reliability. There's a 99.72. That's a good reliability. 99.39, 99.4344. Those are all good reliability numbers. So, and they're all at 30 cents. So it's like, do you want to be just, it's like I said, it's like being faster. You don't need to outrun the bear. You just need to outrun your friend that's with you. That's basically what I'm saying. Is I don't need to be, if I'm just under somebody, why wouldn't somebody select just something that's a little bit cheaper than the 30 cent? Anyway, it's worked. Try it as a strategy. But I come in here and I look to see what this vacant area looks like. And then I come down here to the list and look at the reliability numbers. The other thing you also want to look at is the VAST score, because sometimes you'll come in here and you can scroll to the right and look to see what type of board it's on. And you'll see there's somewhere in here where it actually shows you how many, that shows you the PCIe gen, and it shows you the lanes available. So this can also, because you'll see like 2 and 1 PCIe Gen 2 with 1 GPU lane for a 4090. It's kind of crazy. And Argon Strider, yes, you get what you pay for sometimes, definitely. But I find that people that are willing to take a chance going, hey, I'm willing to pay a little bit less to see if it works. And then it just keeps going. And they're like, well, I don't want to lose this. And that's why I keep these guys on there consistently. And that's why I feel like I'm at where I'm at as far as profitability. So I don't know. That's been my strategy up until now. Now, if you look at this, it's telling me I should be at like 34 cents. In this case, if I was going to do that, I'd be at 0.349, just ahead of this guy. Overmore Tech said, we need Sunflower Mama to stream, I think. Wouldn't have to deal with so much non-crypto content. Well, I didn't know you were here, Overmore. If I'd known that, maybe I wouldn't have. But hey, somebody asked the question. It wasn't in my subjects to bring up tonight. Just so you know, I was just going to gloss over it with what I was working on. That's it. But then people asked me questions. And I have set background. I am mining sometimes with them. I am. Alrighty. I'm not gonna change Ovalbore's mind. We will agree to disagree on that, which is nothing wrong with that. Variety is the spice of life. What else? My retro Mike Tech said, Oval AI loves Vast. Don't let him kid you. Yeah, I know. Secretly, I know he's got a huge Vast farm. I know he does. He says, don't anybody buy the 4090s. They're a waste. Don't anybody buy those because, he's secretly buying them. He's just not telling anybody. I buy the 49ers for Vast, not for mining. They are efficient, but they're completely too expensive compared to what else is available out there. Give you some density, that's for sure. But yeah, just for what I'm doing, it made sense. All right, let's see. It was a demo. Let's see what Hive Mapper's at. Hive Mapper. That would be Honey. The dude. Hey, Max. Have you tried using a Dell 5820 workstation? I have not. I don't remember what size power supply they come with. I've actually thought about trying a 7820 because I think that one comes with like a 1300 watt power supply. And if that's the case, I think that could handle two 3090s. So I have thought about that. So one of the things I did think about was one of my Vast rigs has dual processors and they're 10 cores each, 20 threads. So I've got 20 cores on that. That could be a Proxmox server with 5 EtcMC nodes if I wanted it to. So I've kind of thought about trashing that one and moving two 3060s into a 7810 and then taking a 3090 and the 3090 that I got in the Octominer and putting that in a 7820. So I've thought about that as well. Like I said, I've gone a million different directions on what the next machine is going to be for Vast, but I do want to get that last 3090 in the farm without increasing my machine count, at least the machine count for Vast. So take one 7810 off, make it a Proxmox server, and then get a 7820 to replace it basically in the Vast farm. Anyway, lots of things I've been thinking about. But yeah, wait, there's more. We'll go into that a little bit later. Let's see. So I was going to look up Honey. Let's see where we're at with Hive Mapper. Up 15% today. Heck yeah. All righty. I'll take that. Nice. Nice. Let's see. Is that a new high? I don't think so. I think it's gone higher. Yeah, it went higher. It went all the way up to 37 cents. So yeah. Anything else you guys want me to look up while we're doing it? S Chang says you can put a 7910 PSU into a 7810. Yeah, but then you need a different distribution board. So, which is, I think, kind of a tough fit, and kind of expensive. Yeah, I love this. So you've got Overwar Tech. I have no problem with helium content, none whatsoever. But I've been heckled on the helium content, and yet he does all this helium content and he doesn't get heckled. So hey, whatever. Yeah, it might have been all I talked about for a month, but anyway, But yeah, congrats Overboard Tech on your gains there. I have thought about doing it, but I don't know. I don't know. Now I feel like it's FOMO, and that's where I get a little nervous when I see everybody going, "Okay, it's my turn. I'm going to try to get in." Kind of like what's going on with Hive Mapper. Um, I think that Hive Mapper will still be successful. In fact, I think it could even be more successful. Um, yes, I know helium is blockchain and crypto. That's neat. Yep, I don't disagree. They certainly have had their moments of wow, what were they thinking? But yeah, seemed to hit the bullseye as they pivoted to mobile, and right now seems like it's a winner in the real market, a real product that is selling. Wheeling Crypto and Coffee says Dynex. Oh, let me look up Dynex. Good point. Let's see where that one's at. I actually don't even know. A little bit of Dynex. I think I've seen it kind of going down. Yeah, 5.1% down. If we look over 30 days, yeah, general downward trend. Kind of coincides with SRB minor fiasco. I think that this is just kind of FUD per se. I think it will make a comeback. It's just that they lost their momentum with all that went on at that point. And people kind of like, hey, you know what? Look, there's a new shiny thing over here. And people kind of pivoted away from Dynex. It'll come back. It'll have another moment. Which is one reason why I'm holding the bag that I have. It's not a lot, but I'm holding the bag that I've got. Any other coins you guys want me to look up? All right. Well, I am going to move on to one of the main things I wanted to talk about tonight. And that was the public service announcement of wallet protection. Wallet protection. And shoot, why am I can't believe I just watched this damn video. He did a video about this about a year ago, and I heard a couple rumblings today about some people having trouble with the Zelcore wallet. And there's nothing inherently wrong with the Zelcore wallet. It's about how people protect their wallets. And you've heard Mining King talk about and others talk about, hey, have a VM or another computer that's off the network, or a USB flash drive that holds your wallet so you have it completely offline. Yes, those are great ways of creating a cold wallet that people can't get at. But a lot of people don't do that. People want to be able to have a hot wallet. So Zelcore is a hot wallet. I mean, you can access it from anywhere as long as you have your credentials. So, couple things to keep in mind. First off, should be extremely obvious. Do not, whatever you do not log in to your wallets on your phone, your laptop, whatever, in a public Wi-Fi space. Please do not do that. You will. That's a really good way to get hacked. So just don't do it. Don't do it. You can use your own phone as a hotspot if you want. That's a much safer way. It's not, necessarily ideal, but it's certainly much better than using an unknown uh, public hotspot. So don't do that. Mia and Milo Mining says, why do you need wallet protections? Just mine directly to an exchange and keep all your crypto there. I know you're kidding. But, here's the thing. There are risks in any way that you store your crypto. If you store your crypto and let's say, my LE Pal sitting right here, what happens if it somehow doesn't charge anymore because the battery went bad? Something else went wrong with it. Those lead to problems where, yes, I can get it back because I've got seed phrase, but those are all things that can lead to anxiety in being able to recover your crypto. So, but with an exchange, at least you have, true 2FA, you can have, you know, Google Authenticator or something like that. And I'll go into some of the things I recommend. And I have affiliate codes and stuff. Not going to go through those tonight. I'll probably put them in the description when I get a chance, but because it really wasn't the point of this. The point of this is protect yourself. So, anyway, so the keys ways to protect yourself is have something that is completely separate than what you work on day in and day out. Because at some point you might click on the wrong thing by accident. I opened up this email. I'm like, oh, get rid of this. And then as you're moving over the email, which by the way is a big button that takes you to a link that downloads something, you accidentally click as you're trying to, basically get out of it. And now you've downloaded something by mistake, which could include a keylogger and all kinds of things. So bottom line is don't keep your wallet access on your computer. Gaming with Smoky Den says, I store all my coins in RPM's wallets. He said was safest place. Body blue raised arms. So that's the oh, that's right. That's right. Because that's the anyway. Alrighty. So that's first thing is put it somewhere where you're not accessing it all the time. That's going to be a much better protection. The other thing is if you have the ability, change your passwords. I know it seems basic, but people don't do it. One thing I did learn about Zelcore today is that yes, you can't change your password, but you can change your, as they call it, their D2FA. So it's not true 2FA where it's a rolling factor authentication, two-factor authentication. It's a static one, but you can change it. So I highly recommend, especially as if you heard of some people getting hacked, it's a great time to change your two-factor authentication. One thing I did learn tonight, so I changed my two-factor authentication within Zelcore, and I can't really show you guys because that screen also shows the private key. So I'm not going to go into it and put it on the screen. I've done that once. I've almost done that once before. Anyway, but yeah, you basically go into your Zell ID, and then there's a spot that says D2FA, and you click on that. So what I did learn is once you change it, and then you log out, when you go to log back in, if you mistype your password and then type the D2FA correctly, it tells you that you typed the D2FA incorrectly, or at least that's the way I interpreted it. It may have said basically that the D2FA does not match the password or something to that effect. I took it to mean the D2FA was incorrect. So I kept putting in the new one, which I know I was putting in correctly until I got down to the last attempt. And so then I backed out and then went back into the whole thing and then was able to get in on my last attempt. So also when it tells you that you have only one attempt left, it doesn't mean one attempt forever. What it means is that you only have one attempt until it times you out. That's what it means. So you're timed out for like 5 or 10 minutes, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. And obviously that's to slow down the hackers if somebody's trying to guess to get into your wallet. So I changed it to a much more cumbersome and something I don't use anywhere else. So yeah, so it's and the other part of it is that when you do type in the D2FA, there is a little pad to the right of the field. If you click on that, it brings up a pad that has scrambled number pad. So if you have a keylogger, obviously it's going to pick up whatever you type in the keys. But if you have a click, something that shows like where you clicked, well, it's figuring out where you clicked relating to other areas, but that keypad comes up different every single time. So you want to make sure that you're using that, because they, if you do have something on your computer or on whatever computer you're using, then they will not be able to track that through your mouse clicks. So anyway, that is, as far as Zelcore goes, something to keep in mind, and I suggest you changing it often. Up to you as far as how often, but it's a really good idea to make sure you're changing that D2FA often, so that anybody that might be getting information won't be able to obviously save that and be able to come in at any other time. The other thing I did is I do have a YubiKey, which should give me some protection against any of the browser-based wallets, because in order to be able to log in to my browser, in other words, to log into the ID that is associated with those extensions, you need to, you would have to have a YubiKey with you or some other hardware token. So basically it has to be either my phone or the YubiKey, one of the two. And actually on my main account that I have the wallets on, it has to be the YubiKey, which is really frustrating when I'm at work. So I'm like, oh, damn. But anyway, I generally don't do wallet stuff at work anyway, so not a big deal at all. But anyway, any questions about that? But I can't stress it enough. Heard so many stories over the years, over the past year. There's been at least a half a dozen people that I've seen lose very significant amount of their crypto holdings as a result of hackers some way, somehow gaining access to their wallets. So just do not think it won't happen to me, because it will. That's the key. Don't think it won't happen to you, because it definitely can and will. And the bigger your wallet is, the bigger the target it is. So anyway, all right, enough on that soapbox. Just be smart, people. Be smart. Okay, let me see what other comments we got out here. T-Gig says, hello, T-Gig. Funny you mentioned changing passwords. I have that on my to-do list while off during the holidays. Going to change them all. Good for you. You're going to change them all to the same one, right? Don't do that. That would be bad. That would be very bad. All right, who's banned? Smokey Dan. Why Smokey Dan banned? All right, well, I'm scrolling up to see where I'm tagged. Oh, okay. Not tagged too much. You guys are all talking amongst you. Talk amongst yourselves. All right. Mining King says, can I? Oh, okay. Can I keep my crypto with you, Max Voltage? No. In fact, can I keep my crypto with you, Mining King? Because you have a much better setup than I do. I need to talk to you about reconfiguring my network. I got to figure out how to do it and still keep things running. Joker Miner says, is wearing my favorite flannel. You like this flannel. You like it. You really like it. And I'm wearing a Timely t-shirt. Oh, stop. It's my proof of useful work t-shirt that I won on a stream, a Flux stream back in, I don't know, July, June, May, something like that. So, yep, I like this t-shirt. That and my hobbyist t-shirt. I do like my hobbyist t-shirt. Definitely do like my hobbyist t-shirt. It's a good, like, thick, especially for this time of year. It's a thick material for a t-shirt. Scott Sheffield says, we use our birthday and dog's name to trip them up, right? I've seen worse. I've seen way worse. The key is don't reuse all passwords. So there's certain things where I might reuse a password. And it's things where I'm like, if somebody hacks this and really wants it, I don't care. I really don't care. You know, I might do something like that. But if it's important, yeah, I'm using different passwords. The Mining King, $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Sorry, the number you called is no longer in service. Please hang up and try again. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not supposed to be the message. The message is like, Mining King's office hours are between 2 and 4 every other Thursday. No, he does. He needs my help. That's what we're doing after the meeting. He needs my help. Galaxy 9. Wait a minute. You just. All right. Galaxy 9 Synthesis. I'm planning a home networking upgrade. Anyone have experience with TP-Link Omada SDN equipment? Geek of all trades would be your man. He would definitely be your man on that. I think he basically has a full TP-Link setup, if I remember correctly. Thanks again for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Mining King just rugged. All right, let me back up a second. Oh, okay. So I did those already. Oh, Joker Miner says no stripping, please, and thanks, Max Voltage. Curtis Markham says best practice is just keep all of my crypto on the exchange, right? So yeah, I know. So interestingly enough, yes, there have been problems with some exchanges, no question. But how many people have you heard that lose their crypto because they lose their seed phrases or lose something? I definitely know way more people that have either lost their funds through getting hacked or broken. Probably a better way of saying is broken into, and losing their crypto that way than people that have had it in exchanges. That's maybe anecdotal, but it's the truth. I know way fewer, and I do know people that had Celsius and BlockFi. I do know some people that have lost money in those. I forget what the other one was. There's another one, digital something or another. I actually signed up for it with a promotion with the Dallas Mavericks of all things. So I'm thinking, what's his name was associated with it. But anyway, but think about that. How many people do you know that lost money in an exchange? And how many people do you know that have lost money with money in their wallets? So for me, I have found more people have lost money in their wallets than they have in exchanges. Now, I've been really selective in the exchanges I have interacted with. I always was a little sketched out by FTX, so I never got into it. The one that I said was associated with Dallas Mavericks, that one kind of sketched me out as well, so I never got involved in it. Any of these ones that gave crazy returns, I was like, how are they getting those? That doesn't make sense. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. And in those particular cases, yeah, it all came crumbling down. Let's see, nothing else I'm tagged in. But yeah, definitely hook up with, well, sorry, I don't mean to volunteer you a Geek of all trades, but I just know that you have that set up. So do with it what you will. Geek is really busy, so you may not have the time, but we'll see. All right. Let me see what else I haven't talked about yet. Talked about the big winners day. So yesterday I decided to take on a small project, what I thought was going to be a small project. I was just simply going to take the ZSX board and change it from a 1400 watt 240 volt power supply and put it on a 1200 watt power supply. Sounds simple enough. I only had 600 watts running through it. Not a big deal. Except the power button did not work on the ZSX board. And somehow, some way, with the 1400 watt power supply, the Dell one, it would flash like it was, and that flashing supposedly meant like it was asking for reprogramming or something. I don't know. But after about a minute, it would automatically power on the ZSX. So it would send the power command to the ZSX and power it on, and everything came up. Unfortunately, the 1200 watt doesn't do that. So it would not run on it. So yes, I agree, Overboard Tech, they are junk. So I had to refigure things, and decided, okay, well, I've got a 650 watt ATX power supply that I had a spare. It's a gold. I figured I'll just run the motherboard with that and run the regular breakout board along with the 1200 watt. Yes, that worked just fine. It's just that it takes a while because you got to recable everything, because you got to unplug every single cable from the ZSX board, including the motherboard, unplug those motherboard cables. You know, it just takes time. It takes time. So got that going. Everything was good. I also had to take all the fans that were in the front of the rig. Those all had to get plugged into the motherboard. I had 2 Noctua fan splitters left. So thankfully I was able to put those to good use because I had 5 fans and I had 3 fan connectors. So I was good there. So I did that. And then after I finally finished that, I decided to put the 3090 in the Octominer. And the one thing I don't like about the Octominer, and I understand the pros and cons to it, is it doesn't have a click. It doesn't have a satisfying click because it doesn't have the 2 ears, ears on the end, where you click it down and the things pop up. So that was frustrating because I couldn't tell when I was actually in the slot and when I wasn't in the slot. But I finally figured that out, got that running. And then the other part that was really frustrating was the pricing of my Vast was like way off, and it was putting me in a different, like my bid price was showing higher than my on-demand price. If anybody that knows Vast, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I had to I finally figured out after a couple hours, artificially lower the bid price, and then the extended price to the customer ends up being at the right. It was weird. I don't know what it is, but I got a workaround for it. Nobody was able to explain it to me, so that's all right. I've got a workaround to it. Everything's good. Everything's rented on demand anyway right now, so I'm happy. I'm happy. But yeah, that was all like really took me late in the night last night, and that was definitely a little frustrating. But at the end of the night, I was like, feels good to get all that done because I've been wanting to do that stuff, some of that stuff, for a couple of weekends, especially moving the stuff to 120. Oh, and I should say thank you to Sunflower Mama because she bought a big honking extension cable. It's a 12 gauge extension cable that was to be used for outside, but we didn't need it. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. So it is now being used for one of my rigs. Easily can handle the 600 watts or even more. Because I basically, the 120 circuit that I have, I'm using the one in the bathroom, so it's a 20 amp circuit. All right, let me see what else I missed. Actually, Curtis Markham says, actually, that is kind of true now that you say that. Currently, I am locked out of RTM wallet with a couple 100,000 RTM. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's like you got to write the stuff down. You got to make sure you remember it. Yeah. So that's the issue. And yeah, you might have it stolen from a exchange or an exchange that basically runs off of it because they claim bankruptcy. Yes, there is that chance, but you also have another chance of losing it because you aren't organized or things like that. And it's not believe me, I'm not organized. Just ask Sunflower Mama. She had been bugging me for a long time to put together a document. I have most of it put together. Now I need to modify because I just changed some passwords and things. So, but yeah, I need to be better about that to make sure that when I pass away, that the next person can pick up and have all of the stuff. Scott Sheffield says, what's that Misfit mining lighting thing behind you, Max? Well, that is something that Sunflower Mama created. She I wasn't sure if she wanted to talk. She basically took the risers, not the risers, the the GPU holders and put some, what is it? Origami paper, some purple, some green, and then put a light behind it. And the light is basically a can wrapped in like tiny LED lights. And it just, that's the way it shines. I love it. I absolutely love it. She's so creative. Just one day I come home and she's done it. She's like, yeah, trying to figure out what I could do with this. And I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. So yeah, that's why it's 3D printed, but it's 3D printed by Chump Change. He actually printed those. But like I said, it's not specifically designed for that. I mean, you can tell by the ears on the side of it that it's not specifically designed for that. It's designed to be hooked together as GPUs, connected together. So anyway, let's see what else. Okay, let me see what else. Let's see. We're at 9. Oh, we're almost at about an hour. Cool. I feel like there's a few more things I haven't talked about that I was going to talk about tonight. I did talk about that. Oh, one thing I left out about that. We were talking about hardware and how I was planning on making use of different pieces of hardware. So one of the things I am going to do is I'm going to create a Nimbus node on that computer. Right now that has running 4 Cumulus nodes, but I'm going to put a Nimbus node on it. Now I'm going to have to add some more memory to that computer because I'm going to have 4 more cores available that I'm going to need memory for. So in fact, I didn't go ahead and order it, but I got to order 64 gig of RAM. I'll take 2 sticks out of that and put them in something else that I want more RAM in. But I do want more RAM in here. I only have 32 gig in here. I want to get to 64. Some people have said, just go all the way, go to 128. Anyway, we'll see. So yeah, I'm going to put that in there, put more memory in there, and then I'm going to make that also into an EtcMC node. But once I've done that, I will have 2 Raspberry Pis that will be available. So one of those Raspberry Pis is going to be one of my basically wallet machines. Couple other things I'm thinking about also is I have a couple of unmanaged switches in my network. I want to change those out to managed switches so that I can do the correct VLANing and all of that stuff. Because right now I do not do that, and I should. So hence the reason why I want to get together with King so he can kind of tell me how I can do this in the most efficient manner without creating too much disruption to the network. And because it's the easiest thing to do is when you're building a network, just build it the right way up front. But I didn't do that. I was in a rush when I put the MikroTik in. I wanted to get it up and running as quickly as possible. And I've had my growing pains with it as I made some mistakes along the way, but right now it's running very, very well. I just said it out loud, knock on wood. So yeah. Okay, let's see. I just mentioned Flux Cumulus nodes to Nimbus nodes. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention about that. So I did find a video, and the plan is to make a video. But moving from Cumulus to Nimbus, if you have the hardware already and your Cumulus node is running on that hardware already, then you can actually change that Cumulus node into a Nimbus node just by changing the there's 3 things. There's like a transaction ID, probably a Zell ID, and then like there's another 1-digit thing that goes in there. Anyway, that's basically all you need to change, and then reboot the node, and then it comes up and figures out that, oh yeah, that's right, this is a Nimbus node. You've staked 12,500 at this point. So I'm going to do that with that. And yes, it isn't, the Cumulus nodes are only given 2 cores, 4 threads. But once I remove all 4, I'll have plenty, and I'll just reallocate one of them from 2 cores, 4 threads to 4 cores and 8 threads, which I have the ability to do because it's a Proxmox server. So I'll be able to dynamically add the necessary resources, which will be very, very cool. I'll have to figure out a way. I'm sure I will have to at some point expand out the drive. I'll have to figure out. That's the only part I'm unsure about. I'll have to figure that out. Even Yoon says Vast responded saying that they will verify machines every week based on demand and supply, and more expensive systems are verified quicker. Yeah, that's what they told me as well. Basically, what they're saying is that unless you have like an L40 or above, yeah, you'll probably never get verified. So maybe if you got like a 4x4090 rig, maybe you probably have more of a chance. But they actually tell you in, I forget where it is, but there's a spot where it tells you that, well, if you have a multiple rig of this particular GPU, which I think was an L40, could be wrong, or higher, then they will verify within a week. So yeah. Yep. It's like I said, it's the lottery. And that lottery is lucrative because if you look at the difference in pricing of non-verified versus verified, it's significant. And the amount that you're rented is much higher when you're verified as well. Okay. Let's see here. More EMTC nodes. I plan on, as I mentioned, I'm going to put an EMTC node on there. Might have an EMTC node node server in the basement as well. Haven't decided that yet. It's all going to kind of depend on where the project's kind of going. And I will go over the EtcMC announcement in a little bit. I will go over the Kaspa Asic analysis in a little bit. A couple other things I've been working on. I did finally install the GPS, amplifier within the car. And Sunflower Mama drove down to her parents' house about 50 miles away. Hard to really tell how much of a difference it made because it was really crappy out. So it was heavy cloud cover. It did pretty well, but I couldn't really tell, of just the basic Hive mapper with its GPS on a sunny day versus with the repeater. I will say that with the garage only open, with the antenna on the back of the car, it's synced with GPS within, I don't know, 15 to 30 seconds, somewhere in there. So that was really cool to see. But I saw some breaks in the trip, even with the GPS amplifier. So I don't know. We'll have to do some more experiment and analysis with that before we make a final determination on that. All right, let's see. I did that. Okay. All right, let's go over the old Vortexes. Mine straight up barely worked before the repeater and is immaculate now. Yeah, I mean, mine did work, but like I said, what you had seen was how things weren't directly like on the road. They were kind of a little bit off the road, and you'd see like breaks in the trip. So when she went down there on a not perfect day at all, yeah, it definitely didn't look like it did a ton. But again, you gotta kind of compare apples to apples. I'd like to see how it does on a sunny day to see if it does a perfect trip with no breaks. That's what I'd love to see, because even on a sunny day without the antenna, you would not be able to get a trip with no breaks in it. It would still lose coverage here and there. All right, let me bring up that announcement. Over Texas, Sunflower Mama is the only signal booster you need. Yeah, no wonder she posted that. Yeah, she is running the show. We all know that. Nobody needs to be reminded of that, especially me. Okay, let me get into the EtcMC Discord and go to the announcements, and then go to the bottom of the announcements. And let me bring up this page. Add to scene. There we go. It's kind of hard to see I don't even know if I can make this bigger, so I will just read through it. So this is the 1.2.3 update. It's a game changer. It is kind of. It definitely solves some, shall we say, inconveniences. So say goodbye to some pesky bugs with our latest minor bug fixes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. I wouldn't lead with that. That's what you like say at the end. Keep it simple. Your user details are now saved for future use, meaning that you won't have to remember what your user ID is for each node. It will be saved. So claiming made easy, your details will now autofill, saving you time and hassle. Get ahead of the game with the latest Geth client, all set for the Spiral hard fork. Big news, another 20% reduction, bringing rewards to 0.00128 per imported new chain segment. So what does that do? That basically takes it from around 300 a month down to 250. That's what I had been reading. Now, here's the thing. That doesn't really want to make me go to the new software, at least not until I have to. And they're requiring this starting December 31st. So I'm like, well, if I'm going to get a payout or two before then, I think I'll wait. And see if I'm getting more returns because I didn't upgrade. Because they make it sound like that's part of the upgrade. So if you don't upgrade, then you don't get the 20% reduction until you upgrade. Anybody else read that differently? That may not be the case, but that's the way that reads. And then because they're basically saying this is all under the 1.2.3 update. And then convenience redefined. Your register node button stays registered even after a restart. So in other words, it won't come up as like, hey, you need to re-register the node. Like if you have like an OK button that keeps coming up, you're going to think, oh, well, I guess I didn't hit OK. Same type of thing with this. And that's why they were getting so many registrations, because people thought that since the registration button was there, that they needed to register again. So this is more of a convenience for them than it is for us. So anyway, those are the big changes with EtcMC. And I think with that brings me to the end of my topics. I think I hit on everything. I will be on the lookout for more node projects, especially given hopefully I'll have some more CPU hardware to put things on. And I am currently mining lithium a little bit, mainly Pyrin, and a little bit of Carlson, but mainly Pyrin right now. All right, let's see what you guys got to say. That was how it worked going from 1.21 to 1.22. Oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah, then I'm just gonna wait. Chain Critical said 20% of nothing is still nothing. Yeah, but it's not nothing. If you get 100 EtcMC right now, it's worth about $75. That's hardly nothing. It's just worth less than what it was worth before. You might not like the project, but hey, right now it is pretty lucrative, and some people are making buckets. Lahib Kanash said, I tried having 2 syspop nodes. They got kicked out of the network in 2 days. Price went down big time on that coin due to unstable nodes, no one holding it. I don't know anything about that project, but yeah, it sounds like a loser from what you're saying. But I know nothing about it. Crypto mining. Nick Riley, I don't condone gambling on NiceHash. Glenn Olson, go jump on Soat's new coin. Oh, Soat has a coin? Panda. You let Soat get a coin before you? Really? I think Panda's gone by now, unfortunately. So he didn't get that troll. And I think Mining King's gone as well. They're probably out there already playing games. Oh no, there's Red Panda. Panda coin is out. I am just pre-mining it. Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair. When are you gonna let the some of us other close friends pre-mine it? Who said it? What? Acer. Yeah, I'm looking. Not his coin, his new video. Okay. I'm not sure. I don't watch Panda's videos. Actually, I don't watch Panda's videos because of when they come out. You know whose videos I do watch? Is Brandon Coins. Why do I watch Brandon Coins? Because his pop up to the top of my list when I'm driving to work. So I just put it on and he takes me about a third of the way to work. Oh, it's video. Oh, got it. I thought you were saying so it's coin. Oh yeah, so it's video about Ablecoin. Yeah. I did see that. This was actually kind of cool because he actually was teaching people how to use Vast to mine Ablecoin. And it really kind of got me thinking because there's some really, let's look at this real quick. There are some really crazy priced listings. And really here is not the best place to look at it. Let me make sure. I'm going to bring this over. Let me do search. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to bring this over and I am going to reshare it. Okay, so this is the list. I'm going to expand it so you guys, wrong way. Okay, there you go. Now you can see it. So let's do it. Let's say we're looking for 13090. Not 3090 Ti. What? Not a 3090 Ti. I just want a 3090. Oh, there it is. 13090 one. So you have all of these that are available to rent. You're like, okay, now we're on verified. So we'll click unverified and see, and don't do on demand, do interruptible. You can rent a 3090 for about 5.7 cents an hour. So let's look to see what you can make on a 3090 at 5.7 cents an hour. So first of all, 5.7 cents an hour. And again, you don't have to figure in, that's like your power cost. Okay. So 0.057 times 24. It's $1.36. So probably not going to be profitable, but let's take a look at hashrate.no. Damn it. Just spilled. But I will finish out the stream. Nothing on my keyboard, thank God. All right. That's what happens when you don't get enough sleep. So hashrate.no. Thanks. At least it will be off my desk. Mostly. Although this towel doesn't soak up very well. But okay. Thanks. That'll soak up better. The armrest? Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right. I'm trying to, it's like in my sleeve. And it's going to come out of my sleeve. Anyway, all right, let me pick that up. Oh, look at that. That was a little piece of ice that just went into that box. That's all right. Water will dry out. Okay. All right. So hashrate.no. Let's go to 3090 and then we'll call it a night so I can clean up my mess. Let's go here and 3090. Let's take a look at the most profitable. It's $1.47. Well, no, take that back. $2.37. Remember, power does not matter. You're paying for power when you're renting this thing. So you can make 237 and pay $1.36. Now you can get interrupted because it's interruptible, but while you're on there, you're profitable. So mining through Vast can be profitable. And here's a perfect example. Do a dual mining, probably not so much. But let's just say Pyron at $1.86 might work. I haven't been able to get it work, but again, now we're looking at just revenue. So just go straight to Conflux. Should be able to mine Conflux on there, I believe. But anyway, point being is, look at it. Could be interesting. So, alrighty, guys. Well, on that note, since I have made a mess and need to dry things out, I'm going to let you guys go. Let me check out some last minute tags that I've seen. So it was talking about a coin where you lease servers and use them to mine a coin. Costs about 3 to make 5. Yes, that's what this is. That's what Vast is. That's exactly what he was talking about. And he showed people how to do it. I thought that was pretty cool. I like it because it's going to add demand, and that's going to drive up the price of Vast. Not to the point where maybe it'll become unprofitable, but it'll become less profitable, but more profitable to me. So I like that. RPM stopped making videos at 9 a.m. Well, even 9 a.m. was too late. I'm already at work. It's 8 a.m. for me, and I'm driving to work at 6:30 in the morning. So, like I said, Brandon Coin, keep it up. Keep it up. He's my entertainment on the way to work. Bacon, eggs, and hash. Deep breathe, Max. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to say goodnight and clean up my mess. And thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. 104 concurrent people here. What do we max out at? 133. So thank you guys all for being here. If you didn't hit the like button, please hit the like button on the way out. If you are new here, please consider being a subscriber. Subscriber count is going up. I appreciate all my new subscribers and all my new members. And oh, yes. And don't forget that if you are a member, make sure you link your YouTube to Discord so that you can be part of OnlyFans and be part of that exclusive channel. So, alrighty, guys. Thanks again for being here. I do appreciate it.